Hey, it's your boys. It's the GOATs. It's the OGs. It's the, I don't know what else. It's Rick Kamla. I mean, we're knuckleheads for sure. Rick Kamla, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. And it is the Fantasy NBA today presented by FanDuel. We'll have a FanDuel win total for you later on in the show. Doc, would you agree that from time to time, or maybe all the time, that you and me are a couple of knuckleheads?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I also agree that I love FanDuel. I love there's sometimes where you read an ad by somebody or talk about a company and you're like, I don't know. Okay, whatever. I'll just do it. But FanDuel, and I'm about over the history of time. I'm not like talking about any of our incredible sponsors, but I love FanDuel. Like, I use FanDuel. I play FanDuel every single day during basketball season, literally every day. Me and my boys, $2. We go every single night. I play in contests. I love FanDuel. I do.
No, it's awesome. FanDuel is amazing, dude. Doc, you know, over my career, I've read a million promos. What from the TV to the radio to the podcasting to everything I've done. Right. Not once have I ever judged in any way, shape, or form. Like in Atlanta, if I'm working with, I'm just literally picking. I've no like Wilkinson Mazda, right? And I got like. Wilkinson Mazda wants me to do a read. Cool. I'm going to give them the best read I possibly can. And you know what I mean? It's just, they're just a sponsor, and I treat them all with the respect that they deserve.
I'm not throwing shade at other places. I'm just saying I usually don't have a direct connection and love with what I'm reading. I don't read. I haven't read any company's promo that I have a problem with.
Understood. So it'd be kind of like if I did a promo for Diet Mountain Dew or something like that, right? Like, I love Diet Mountain Dew. It'd be like that. Like, kind of.
Like if I was doing a promo read for Skyline Chili, I'd be fired up. That's why I am about FanDuel.
Overrated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a thing, dude. You either love it or you don't like it.
I'm sorry. I tried to. I had the hot dogs. Remember that I got, and like 2 days later, I had those hot dogs, and they were like, it was fine. Like, it was food and stuff like that, but I just overrated, man. But I understand that it's acquired taste. There's like a little taste of that chili that for me isn't really hitting, but I can understand that for a lot of people that it would hit. So Doc, let's talk some fantasy basketball. I want to, first of all, Doc, run through quickly some of the guys killing it at Eurobasket. Then we're going to talk about the Atlantic Division. Okay. Nikola Jokic is killing it. And Luka Doncic is killing it. Okay, so what? Let's talk about the guys that I'm not going to say that matter, because Jokic and Doncic do. I think you get the point. Doncic had 30-some points. I mean, it just came down. What was the stat line? 37, 11, and 9. I mean, give me a break. It's just he's dominating over there. Duh. Of course he is. Who else is dominating, or at least playing very, very well? Doc, Nikola Vucevic is absolutely killing it at Eurobasket. Monster numbers, like Jokic numbers. He had like 31, 11, and 7 in their last game, something like that. Yusuf Nurkic is ripping off double-double after double-double. Pelle Larsson playing very, very well for Sweden. Alpi Şengün is another chalky guy like Jokic and Doncic in a way. Yabusele, Knicks backup, just popped for 36 for France, okay? And Santi Aldama is the Michael Jordan of the Spanish national team right now. He just had a 19, 10, and 4. So just any of that, I just want to kind of dip our toe into the Eurobasket waters here for a minute and try to spin it forward to the fantasy season if there's any meat on this bone.
Well, I will say this.
By the way, pardon me, I forgot. Denny Avdia is absolutely killing it. I forgot to mention Denny Avdia. Sorry, Doc.
Nice. Luka's chalky and all, but the way that you and I are going all in on him, and we're arguing that he might even be the better number 2 pick than Jokic if you take Wemby number 1. If he was laying duds in Eurobasket, I would be like, oh man, are we too into this Luka being on the cover of Men's Health thing? Like, were we bamboozled? But the fact that he's going off and I haven't heard one comment in a long time talking about Luka being out of shape and Luka Luka's health. Like, you don't hear that anymore. People are sleeping on how good of a year Luka's going to have. Like, I think you and I are on top of it. But I think people are sleeping on him. The Vooch stuff is interesting because he's so old and he plays for the Bulls, and people don't really want to draft him. Like, nobody drafted him in our mock dynasty league because it's a dynasty league and he's like 100 years old. But I took him because you always say you got to have players who are good now to go along with your young guys. So I like that. I love Denny. I love the fact that Denny Avdi is going off over there. That makes me happy.
I mean, game after game for Israel, he's just killing it. Andre Lemouche is our phenomenal producer. He says on Vucevic, he played his last game ever for Montenegro as he ended his international career. So I presume he killed it, but Montenegro did not advance to the knockout round. I presume that is the situation right there. And he's a 35, 36-year-old guy. And Andre said that is correct. 35, 36-year-old guy. So good for him. I mean, think about it. 35, 36-year-old guy. He could have said, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to, take my summer off and get ready for the upcoming season. But no, he went back as an old head and helped Montenegro, at least for national pride and competition, although they didn't make it to the knockout round. All right, Doc, let's move on here and talk about the Atlantic Division. All right, this is a terrible division. It's absolutely god-awful. You have, obviously, the Knicks at the top. Boston is usually elite, but not this year. And then, I mean, you've got, Doc, Brooklyn, Philadelphia, and Toronto. Okay, so it's just not a sexy division right now. But there are fantasy goodies to be had. So let's detect and let's debate. And let's start, Doc, with your New York Knicks. I say that jokingly because on yesterday's show, of course, Dr. A had his word. I got to give him credit for this because it was absolutely, I laughed for 5 minutes about it. Controversial take that Orlando is going to finish higher in the standings than the New York Knicks. Okay. Not sure too many other people on earth that know basketball are saying that. And I love that Doc is being controversial with that. So, Doc, we talk about your controversial Knicks. Who are you targeting in fantasy?
Honestly, I don't see me owning too many Knicks. Like, I could see a world where I draft Jalen Brunson. I could see me taking Mikal Bridges when other people aren't going to take him. I could see me drafting Josh Hart late. I doubt I'm going to have Cat. But, I mean, if I get the 9th pick in my draft, maybe I will. But I'm not really targeting any Knicks. But I'm also not afraid to draft most of them.
Okay. A cryptic response from Dr. A. Jalen Brunson's definitely a target for me. However, Doc, his Yahoo ADP right now is like 18. I ain't taking Jalen Brunson in round 2, dude. No way. He has his stat line's a little incomplete, Doc. It's a little bit incomplete. Okay. 26, 27, 28 points, 6 or 7 dimes, check the box. About 3 rebounds, not helping you at all there. Those are just, I'm out there playing 35 minutes, I get 3 rebounds. There's nothing special, nothing extra there. I don't know if you have it in front of you. What is he? 0.9, 1.1 steals. I don't even think he's at 1. And if he is, he's barely at 1.
0.9.
See? 0.9. No blocks. What was his blocks last year? 0.3?
0.1.
Wait, are you serious?
Are you serious, Clark?
No, are you joking right now?
No, it's 0.1.
Dude.
Andre, was it 0.1? Yeah, it was 0.1. Yeah, it's rough.
Bro, I can block 0.1 shots in the NBA.
The turnovers are low. He's at 2.5 turnovers, which is really good for a point guard.
I'm just.
But his name is bigger than his game. To your point, dude, his name is bigger than his fantasy game.
Wow. Put it on a T-shirt, bro. Say that one more time for the people in the back.
Jalen Brunson will be drafted earlier than he should be because his name is bigger than his fantasy game.
Another controversial Nick's opinion. No, this one's not controversial. This one's bang on, dude. It is. Jalen Brunson to me is a third round guy. Third round all day. Bang away. Second round, no. Can't do it. Doc, I don't have a stat line, but what was he? 2.4, 2.5 threes last year? What were the three balls for Bryant?
I've got the whole team pulled up and it doesn't. Oh, there's shooting stats. What'd you at? 2.3.
There you go. I mean, which is, it's not that good. 2.3 is not that good. I want, like, in the second, third round, bro, you got to be Donovan Mitchell banging me three of those babies.
Dude, a lot of his value comes from the categories that you do not give a rat's you know what about. 49% field goal percentage, 38% 3-point, 82% from the line, which is excellent, and only 2.5 turnovers. The stuff you do care about, it's just kind of okay.
He's a Hall of Famer, man. He makes great points several times an episode. That's Steve Alexander. I'm Rick Kamla. We're the Fantasy NBA Today, brought to you by FanDuel. Doc, we have really, you know, it's obviously a blessing doing these shows with you, dude. But throughout the flow of our conversation in this offseason, have we not had many, many, many cool epiphanies? Okay. And it's two great minds clashing, butting heads like rams on a mountaintop, okay? And out of those sparks flying come some really cool ideas. Jalen Brunson is overrated as a fantasy player. I think we can say that. I'll just speak for myself. And you know, dude, I got a jersey and Brunson we trust. You know he's my guy. Him and Wemby are my two favorite players in the entire NBA, dude. And it might be Brunson. I love this guy that much. But I got to play it straight. In fantasy, dude, he's overrated, especially if he's going in the second round. But, Doc, that goes to what I always say about the New York situation. The New York teams are always overrated because most media generates out of the Northeast. And so those are their teams, and they always get a little bit more love and all that kind of stuff. But then just worldwide, there's just something sexy about having people in that market. I don't know what the hell it is, dude. Like Yankees are harder to get than St. Louis Cardinals in fantasy baseball. They just are. It's fact. They just are. This Cam Scatabo thing that they're if you are out there in fantasy football and you're high on Cam Scatabo, you're also high on something else, okay? It's just so wrong. It's so wrong. The guy's already hurt. I'll just check up right there. But why is Cam Scatabo overrated? Okay, Final Four with Arizona State last year. Big, burly, white running back, which is different. But he's not going to last, trust me. Those types never do. And he's on the New York Giants. Doc, if he was on the the LA Chargers, nobody would care about Cam Scatabo, but he's on the Giants, and now everybody cares about him.
It should be the San Diego Chargers.
Fouts. Yeah, man. Oh, damn.
Johnny Jefferson. Oh, come on.
Come on, man. Air Coryell, Kellen Winslow. You had what was it? Jefferson and Charlie Joyner.
Yeah.
Charlie Joyner, back in the day. All right. I'm targeting on the Knicks two guys. Jalen Brunson in the third round, which means I won't get any Brun dog, and OG Anunoby. I like his combo of steals and threes. I'm not crazy about OG. He's probably a round after ADP kind of look-see for me. Full ADP, not really feeling OG. I'm avoiding Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. Cat and Hart are coming off of career years. Guys, Cat is being mocked 7th or 8th overall. You guys are taking him over Anthony Edwards, Trae Young, Cade Cunningham, zap. Doc, these are catastrophic mistakes that these people are making right now. Taking Karl Anthony Towns. Dude, in the first round, Doc, you have to take can't miss. It has to be can't miss. You can't miss with Ant-Man, Cade, or Trae. You can't. You can miss with dude, look at the back of his basketball cards. How many seasons have been a miss for Karl-Anthony Towns? Probably 4. And he's probably been in the league about 10 years. I bet almost half of his years in the league have been misses. It's too big of a risk for a first-round pick for him.
It's coming off. He's coming off a career year. He was in the MVP conversation for a while there, and he doesn't have Thibs to push him. He does not have Thibodeau, and that concerns me about Cat. So I'm really not targeting or avoiding any Knicks. I just don't. I think most of them are going to go before I'm ready to take them. I will avoid Robinson, their center, because I just don't trust him to ever be on the court. There's always hype. This is year he's going to be awesome, and we're finally going to see it, but it just never comes to fruition. I do have 2 Knicks issues, Rick. Yesterday's show, you were like, they got Yabusele on the bench. They got dogs, McBride. I still don't see their bench as being very deep.
Jordan Clarkson is on the Knicks now, right?
They got Jordan Clarkson. They got McBride. They have Yabusele.
And Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson's not going to play.
Yeah, he is.
I feel good about my prediction. I don't feel bad about it. I also would like to get your take one more time on what is wrong with Josh Hart. It's the career year thing. I know that he's coming off a career year in which he had monster numbers, but I don't know why. I will not be opposed to drafting Josh Hart like in the 9th round of drafts, because this past year he was 13.6 points, 7.5 or 9.5 boards, and 6 dimes with a steal and a half and a 3. Like, that's awesome. But like you said, career year, can't do it again. The year before that, he was only at 9 points, which is 4 points less, 4 points fewer than he scored this last season. But he averaged 8.3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal and a 3. And the year before that, he was 10 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a 3. Like, I'm fine with Josh Hart's numbers later in drafts.
Now, I mean, you said later in drafts, like he's isn't his ADP like 4th or 5th round right now?
Let's find out.
His ADP, I think when we talked about it was like 44 or something wild and crazy. Y'all are nuts if you draft Josh Hart in the 4th round. Absolutely, positively. I mean, nuts, loco. That is a really, really, really bad decision. Guys, Josh Hart led basketball in minutes per game last year. I think it was 37.6. It's bolded on Basketball Reference. And he led the league. He ain't doing that again. He's not doing that again. You've got, dude, they had no bench last year. They had no bench. Mitchell Robinson barely played. And you had Miles McBride. Miles McBride was, and remember you had Campaign. Their bench was hideous last year. Hideous. Now it's not. Mitchell Robinson's healthy. McBride's just going to do his 15 to 20-minute thing. Yabusele and Clarkson, to me, are game-changing additions for that bench. So we view that completely differently.
Well, no, this probably goes down to me not listening to you, because Josh Hart is like 55th in ADP at Yahoo.
There you go, 55th, 5th round pick. There's no way. For me, there's no way.
5 is 60, so that's 5th round. And I'm talking about taking him in round 8. And according to this, he'll be long gone by then.
Long gone. Especially because he's a Knick, New York, right? They always get that.
I'm on the same page with you now. I hate Josh Hart in the round 5 or 6 or 4, God forbid. Round 7, 8, 9, talk to me.
Okay, I understand. I love it, dude. All right. Okay, we've come to the reality check portion of our Knicks conversation here. And by the way, I don't even remember. We're just talking, having fun. I had Cat, Hart, and Mikal. I know Mikal plays every game and all that kind of stuff, and he's going to play big minutes again. I just don't like his stat set. He stopped stealing the ball, and when he stopped stealing the ball, like I stopped wanting him in fantasy. That's just he's not a rebound guy, not an assist guy. Just kind of not into the stat line. I do like him in reality, though. Speaking of reality, Doc, okay, so, I always like to ask you a little reality question here. And I'm going to ask you, are the Knicks going to make the NBA Finals? You had them in the finals last year.
I did. And did they make it? No.
Came damn close.
I had OKC and the Knicks instead of okay.
Instead of your sirs, but who could have thought that, man?
I'm gonna say no, only because I have a 1 in 15 chance of being right. I mean, I have a 1 in 15 chance of being wrong. Is what I meant to say. Like the chances of somebody else going, the Cavaliers, the Pacers, the Pistons, the Magic, the Bucks. But I do think the Cavaliers and the Knicks are the two teams that have realistic chances to do it. So, but they got to get past those Cavs who are damn good. So I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes, with a bullet. By the way, I think Knicks and OKC is your finals this year. It's hard. I mean, we're on the Knicks and stuff, but it's hard for me to see somebody in the West. Lakers and Denver and Minnesota and Houston, and they all look really tasty. Are they beating that team? I'd bet against it. So I don't know if OKC is going to win another one. I think New York could beat them in the finals, but OKC's got that look. But I do think the Knicks will be in the NBA Finals. I do, however, think Cleveland will win the regular season, and I think New York will win the East and advance to the finals. Let's move on to Boston. Doc, who are you targeting on the Celtics?
With all this Knicks stuff, dude, I hope Andre and you or someone is recording this, because one of us is going to be really, really right, and one of us is going to be really, really wrong. And my memory is kind of shaky, so I'm hoping that we have this well documented, because it's going to be fun. It's making me kind of jonesing for the season 2 start. All right, the next team you said was what?
The Bostonians.
Oh, I thought we were going by relevancy. Just kidding. Just a little joke there. Shots fired.
There's not a lot of relevancy in the Atlantic Division this year. There's not.
Yeah. They are second. You're right. Tank or not, I love me some Derek White. I'm not afraid to draft Derek White. I think Derek White is going to play. I low-key am into a Bobby Boucher, Chris Boucher thing this year, because Shams said he's going to have a significant role, and I've always been a Boucher, Chris Boucher guy. That sounds weird calling Boucher. I used to always call him, Rick, this was not with you, but I used to always call him Chris Bosh. And that people got a good kick out of that. I didn't do it on purpose. I would just call him Chris Bosh. But I'm intrigued by Boucher. I'm not touching Jaylen Brown with a 25-foot pole, dude. You can have him all day long. I'm not messing with Anthony Simons. I will mess with Pritchard, though. So I'm going White, Pritchard, and Boucher. And I could see a world where I draft like Sam Hauser, because he's gonna get some time, especially silly season.
All right, Dr. A unpacked his targets and avoids for the Boston Celtics. I have 2 targets, and they're both going to benefit from the Tatum injury in a big way, and also the absence of Porzingis. Neemias Queta, Doc, I think, and this is a deep league thing. In a 12-team league, he's going to be on your waiver wire, and then you just monitor it. But if you're in a 14-team league, a 20-team league, 30 deep, Queta's going to be a stud in 30 deep. Telling you right now. Doc, there's going to be a lot of like 8-point, 10 rebound, 2 block games from Neemias Queta. He's not going to like tilt the machine and go crazy cuckoo bananas. I just don't see him do it. I just think he's going to put up some solid numbers. Flirt with double-doubles. Give us some block goodies. Maybe he's a steal guy. Like, we don't really know who he is yet. Kind of like Jay Huff. Like, we don't, like, let's get this cat to 24, 5, 6 minutes and see who he is. We think we know who he is, but until you play those minutes like that, we don't know. It's just a theory. So right now we're in theoretical mode here with Keita, but the guy does have talent. He's not a skill guy, right? He's a rugged, old school paint big, but I think he could get some goodies. So in a deep way, he would make my deep sleeper list. Will he make my pop players list? Maybe. Stay tuned. Peyton Pritchard, I can tell you right now, Doc, will be in my pop players article. Absolutely. And so Doc's going to have his my guys. We're going to have the B150 from Aaron Brewski. I'm going to do my pop players. We all have our little things that we do. But Peyton Pritchard's going to be in that pop article.
Peyton Pritchard's ADP in Yahoo is about 95. Oh, yeah.
Dude, Peyton Pritchard's at 95 and Josh Hart is at 55. Doc, these people need us more than ever. They need us more than ever. How? 95? And dude, Peyton Pritchard is so cute and cuddly, right? Everybody loves Peyton Pritchard, right?
It's all those last-second buzzer beaters.
Yeah. They love that up in Boston. That's a whole bit up in Boston. They call them like end of quarter pay. They have a whole nickname about that up there. Shout out to Drew Carter and Scal. Dude, I miss those dudes. There's some broadcast crews. They just got it. And dude, Scalabrini's a gangster, dude.
He is.
Dude, he talks shit. It's awesome. Dude, what I love is when Scalabrini gets riled up because then the dog really comes. Dude, you know how Scalabrini stuck in the NBA all those years that he stuck in the NBA? Scalabrini, and he won a ring with Boston, right? With KG and those guys. You know how Scalabrini stuck in the league? He's got a massive Rottweiler inside of him. He's a dog, bro. Can you remember anything Brian Scalabrini ever did on the court?
Not really. I remember him running around out there. He wasn't even really like, I didn't even view him as an enforcer when he was playing. Like, he was just a guy.
He was a corner 3-point shooter, and he kind of a jack of all trades guy. He would do a variety of things forward. But anyway, shout out to Scal, man, the White Mamba. I miss him. He's still over there at NBA Radio, killing it with Frank Isola. But I'll be watching a lot of Drew Carter and Frank. Pardon me, and Brian Scalabrine on the Celtics broadcasts. Brown, White, and Simons, I will not have any shares of them on any team. Simons, who knows, dude? I mean, he's Amelia Earhart, bro. Like, in a plane, and then you're gone. Bermuda, what portal? Where are you? What universe are you in right now? I don't know. I don't know what this is looking like. I'm moving on with my life. We've talked about Brown and White a lot. I see a tank for Boston. I want to explain something here. On the previous episode, we talked about CJ McCollum. And there is a potential similarity, Doc, that I want to draw between CJ McCollum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White. You're like, what the F? Let me explain. I said that even though I don't know what March and April look like for CJ McCollum, I'm going to draft him in Sleeperville because nobody's going to want CJ McCollum. Nobody. He's going to fall. There's nothing sexy about taking CJ McCollum. People are bored with him, ready to move on like Doc, all this kind of stuff. 10 straight years of 20-plus points, okay? And guess what? He's going to be 20-plus points with Washington. And I'm going to steal him late, okay? That's the key here, Doc. He's off of everybody else's radar. So I will mess with CJ super late and not really worry about the last 40% of the season. But I can't spend a third or fourth round pick on Jaylen Brown or Derek White or a fifth round pick, which is huge investment capital, and then be worried about March and April. Does that make sense? If it's a sleeper, I'm not sweating it as much. But if it's one of the big boys, one of the top 50 players, no. I don't want to worry about March and April with those guys. I want that to be locked up. So I wanted to make that distinction.
That makes sense.
All right, dude, where are we? We are reality for Boston. But, okay, how do I want to ask this? Because I want to get into the tanking thing, but maybe ask it in a different way. Here's how I'm going to ask this, Doc. Give me games played for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And here is your criteria. Neither of them get injured. Okay? They're healthy.
We know Jaylen Brown's going to tweak something.
But let's just, because I want to gauge what you think the tanky level of this team will be. So Brown and White are healthy. There's no ankles. There's no labrums. There's no hip pointers. There's nothing, dude. Clean bill of health whole year. How many games do they play?
I'm going 78 for Derek White.
Damn.
And I'm going 62 for Jaylen Brown.
I think you nailed the Jaylen Brown number. Although I'm going to drop it a little bit. I see like 57. I think but we're close on Brown. I think we see that the same way. I'm at like 57 for Jaylen Brown. I'm at
25 games, something like that.
I'm at probably like 61 games for Derek White. My point is, I don't think either of them are going to play 65 games. And I fear that their numbers may be especially Doc, if Derek White unfortunately turns an ankle or Jaylen Brown suffers some kind of sprained knee, right? That, by the way, if either of those guys suffer a month or injury like that, Doc, I think any idea of them not tanking will go out the window and they will immediately hit tank mode. If Jaylen Brown suffers a sprained MCL or something like that and misses 4 to 6 weeks, they're going to absolutely crater the thing. All right, let's move on here.
Hey, I don't know who came up with the term monther. I don't know if it was you or if it was me or if it was Reggie Miller, but I love that term and I love using it.
I got it off of a TNT broadcast with Reggie Miller. This was early in his career with TNT. He saw an ankle injury happen and he goes, I know. And they always get in your ear, like, don't speculate about injuries. Like, don't speculate. And I'm the play-by-play guy. I'm not going to speculate about an injury, but guess what? He can, right? So they're like, the ball player can. Why can't the ball player speculate on an injury? He's a ball player. He's supposed to bring that expertise and know-how into the evaluation of the events of the game. And so I never got into it with people about that. Cool. You don't want to speculate about injury? Cool. I never fought City Hall on TV, dude. Like, whatever they said came out of my mouth, bro. No, I'm serious. That's how you stay in TV for 7. You don't go rogue on these guys. They get somebody else to do what they want them to do. But Reggie Miller saw, I forget who the injury was, Doc. And he goes, oh, that's a monther.
Yeah.
And he was explaining to Kevin Hart, he goes, Kevin, there's some that it's like a week or two and you can just kind of tell it's a slight little turn. There's some ankles that you see the turn, you're like, yeah, he'll come back and play in the game. And there's some ankles that you're like, that's a month. And so I got it from Reggie Miller. Shout out to the great Reggie Miller, by the way.
Well, because I use it a lot too. And I probably got it from you or Reggie Miller as well. But dude, I think I can tell when a guy goes down and you see the ankle do weird things. And I say, oh, that's a month or he's out for a month. I'd say I'm right on those about 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10 times. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they roll it all the way over and it looks horrible. And then they come back a week later and somehow play. Like Jalen Brunson, I think, played in the playoffs on one leg last year. So because he's a dog like that.
Because he's a dog, yo. Brandon Ingram's like, dude, no. Brandon Ingram. They go, the trainer comes in and he's all solemn. And he goes, Brandon, I got bad news. The MRI revealed, grade 2 sprain of your left ankle, and you're going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Brandon Ingram's like, woo! Let's go! He's psyched. Like, that's good news for Brandon. Oh, so I just rehab? I just show up and work out and sweat, and you're going to pay me? Oh, my God. Yeah, sign me up. Less work, same pay? What? Oh, what a beautiful world. Yeah, Brandon Ingram throws a party when he gets that news. If you went and told Anthony Edwards you're not going to play for 4 to 6 weeks, the guy would literally cry. That's our guy. We love you, Ant-Man. All right, follow us on Twitter or X and all social media. All right, support the show by leaving a comment, telling us which players you were targeting in your drafts. Come on, let's do this together. Find us at Ethos Fantasy NBA, at Rick Kamla Sports. Don't put the extra A in it. It's not Kamala. There's no relation here. All right, it's Kamla, Kamla, Rick Kamla Sports, at Doctora. I'm kidding. It's Dr. A, D-O-C-K, D-O-C-K-T-O-R-A. Doctora. It's just a funny thing. I'm weird. I'm strange. And then at Aaron Brewski, and that's Aaron, 2 A's and B-R-U-S-K-I. Give us a follow. Thank you very much. Doc, we're moving on with our Atlanta Atlantic Division preview here on the Fantasy NBA Today, brought to you by FanDuel. We are at the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm going to say this right now. They're the biggest mystery in the entire NBA. The biggest mystery. We've got some mysterious teams. Not very many. I mean, I feel like I got my finger on the pulse of, I have my finger on the pulse of every one of these teams. But there's varying degrees to how tight is the grip. You know, that kind of, I don't have any grip at all on what Philly's going to look like. Embiid, Paul George, how much are they going to play? The ripple effects of them being in there. They only have Embiid. They don't have George. They don't have either of them. They have George, not Embiid. Dude, it's a mind, expletive. It is. It's a mind boink, dude. So I'll get the ball rolling here. I have 2 targets on Team Mystery Philadelphia. Kelly Oubre, one of my favorite last pick of the draft guys, and Adem Bona, because I think Adem Bona, Doc, through the back door is going to have a hell of a year. Kind of like the Okongwu vibe that I've got in Atlanta, because Porzingis is only going to play half the games. That's kind of my Bona thing, because Bona's going to play a ton because Embiid's not going to play very much.
I'm targeting 2 guys as well, Rick. Joel Embiid and Paul George. I need to have them on every single fantasy basketball team that I draft.
Say those guys again.
I love them so much. That was a joke. It was a bad joke, I guess, but no, I'm with you on Bona, man. I want Bona on every single team I have, and I'm not kidding about that, because I don't think Embiid is playing very much at all this year. Like, Porzingis is going to play half the season. I think Embiid would be lucky to play a quarter of the season. And I think Adem Bona is going to go off. I got him in that mock draft we did. I got him kind of late, like, I don't know, 10th round or something. Come on, sign me up, dude. I'm all in on Bona. I don't know what they're going to do with Tyrese Maxey. The fact he got shut down last year, I mean, you call this team a big team of mystery. To me, they're going straight down. Like, it's going to be last year reborn, which is not good news for Tyrese Maxey. And it's also not good news that Tyrese Maxey's prime is being spent looking over at the end of the bench and seeing him, Paul George, and Joel Embiid all in street clothes. And it sucks. And I said this before and you kind of yelled at me for it, but I feel bad for, like, true Sixers fans. Like, they deserve better than this. It sucks. I'm not fired up about Edgecombe. I might take a flyer on him late. I'm not messing with Oubre. I think he's like 11 or something years old now. This is a disaster.
I'm telling you, an absolute disaster. Doc, Maxey falls into that Jaylen Brown, Derek White thing, where March and April, to me, looked very non-guaranteed for him. And again, Maxey's being drafted in round 2, okay? Or was it 3? I think it was round 2. It might have been like early round 3. But again, a 2nd or 3rd round pick on Tyrese Maxey. And there's concern about tanking, him not finishing the season. And we are not making this up. This is not false fear, Doc. This is what they did to Maxey last year. He was not hurt. They curbed him. They tanked. They needed to get into the bottom 6, I believe it was.
They needed that pick. Yeah.
To get the pick. They had to fall below a certain threat. Like, they had the best tank in the NBA last year. They did. They had the best tank in the NBA last year because they lost just enough to get where they needed to get for the pick to trigger. Otherwise, it would have, I think, stayed with OKC. I don't have all that in front of me, but it was a big, big deal for them to lose to get that pick. They got it. It's Edgecombe. Okay. They actually moved all the way up to the 3rd pick. Okay. That was a phenomenal tank. But guess what? If you don't have Embiid and you don't have George and you are 7 games under 500 and just really shitty, okay? Like, they're going to do the same thing to Maxey. I need to check on something.
I have a question while you're searching for that. Why? Because I fully agree with you on Jaylen Brown. I fully agree with you on Tyrese Maxey. Why, in my mind, is Derek White bulletproof from a tank? Like, why am I not scared that he's going to get shut down? Because I'm really not.
Look, you've created pause in my brain about Derek White. And I will say this, I would rather have Derek White than Jaylen Brown. Doc, Jaylen Brown, to me, he's more of a star. He's a max player. He's awarded and accomplished. He's so much more shut downable than Derek White. Like when you decide to hit the tank button, you sometimes don't shut down role players, Doc. You always shut down stars because stars win. You don't win with role players. Jaylen Brown's going to lead you to too many dubs down the stretch, right? That game against Charlotte, that game against Washington, that game against just name another crappy team, the Bulls, right? Like he's good enough to get you wins in those games. They're not going to want to win those games. So you pull Brown out. So there is, I think, a chance that Derek White, being a role player, is able to be like, what do they call it? Donnie Baseball or whatever. And like, you just go out there and play. Like, yep, we suck, we're tanking, but D. White wants to play, man. And this guy's a gamer. Like, so again, I think they're going to shut him down. I think it's the smartest thing to do this year for Boston. But I do acknowledge, Doc, that there is a possibility that Derek White, because he's a role player, escapes the shutdown. The Jaylen Brown to me is not escaping the shutdown. Tyrese Maxey is not escaping the shutdown when these guys are this good.
Derek White and I are having a problem with you calling him a role player right now. Royce O'Neal is a role player. Ryan Dunn is a role player. Like Derek White is a bad dude, man. He's like an advanced role player. Like he has a role and he plays it very well, but he's a beast, dude. Like most underrated player in the NBA, my opinion.
He generated some all-star discussion last year. I wasn't really listening to that, but I saw some stuff on Twitter. I thought it was a little bit.
His numbers are stupid, dude. They're sick. I love him.
He's a fantasy gold guy. His Wemby.
And then Andre's saying, is he gonna be traded, or is Boston gonna trade Derek White? Dude, I think if Boston traded Derek White, like. I think Boston fans love Derek White as much as I do. And I think they would have a meltdown.
Let me explain something to you. It drives me crazy. Baseball teams will have like one bad year. So at the trade deadline, they trade all of their good players. And then what are you left with the next year? Nothing. You're going to win 50 games in Major League Baseball. Like if you're Boston, take your hit. Take it. You're going to suck this year. Embrace that. Doc, you can't put lipstick on a pig and bring the pig to the ball and have the pig get hit on by dudes. It's not going to happen. It's a pig with lipstick on it. Give me a break. Boston is a pig, and they're trying to throw some lipstick on it. That's all that's happening here. No. Dude, keep White, keep Brown. Think about it, Doc. They got rid of Drew Holiday, an aging player some think is washed. They got rid of Kristaps Porzingis, plays half the year. They won their championship without him. They did. He played 7 games in the playoffs. They literally won the chip without anything from Porzingis. They did not need him.
When does White's contract run out?
It's a good question. Here's another. The plot thickens here on Philly. The Sixers do not own their 2026 first-round pick. It belongs to the Oklahoma City Thunder due to the Al Horford trade in 2020. So that changes. There is no incentive at all for Philadelphia to tank.
No. Doc. That's good news for Maxey. I still am messing with Paul George and Joel Embiid. But maybe Maxey plays if it doesn't matter. But then again, do they want to risk Maxey getting hurt? Do you want to risk him getting hurt in a lost season?
That's why we have these conversations, man, because we had another aha moment. Philly does not own their pick. Absolutely huge deal. Derek White has a player option in 28-29. So he's under contract for a good minute here, bro.
For a while.
Dude, you stole Derek White in that trade. Was it Indiana or San Antonio? I can't remember who Brad Stevens stole Derek White from. Andre will know that. It was either the Spurs or the Pacers. I can't remember. But
it was the Spurs, but I'm not sure.
It was the Spurs. Dude, You have Derek White. You have one of the best two-way players, one of the best clutch shooters, one of the best all-around players, one of the best role players in the NBA. When you get guys like that, you've already won a chip with him. He's got championship DNA. All right, let's move on. That's it, to me. It would be I will bang on Boston very, very hard if they trade Derek White. Now, I mean, if they get like a crazy return on it, we can evaluate that. But I right now I hate the idea. Okay, so I think we've spent enough time on Philadelphia, Doc. Let's move to Toronto. Who are you targeting on the Raptors?
Well, let me get there. I have a feeling it's going to be not very many people. Let's see. Okay. I like Scotty Barnes. I will draft Scotty Barnes. I think he's going to be going right around where he should be going. Let's see what Scotty was in the ADP for Yahoo. I have a feeling he's pretty freaking high. Scotty Barnes, 25. That's potential third round pick on Scotty Barnes. I love that. So I'm all about that. I've said many times that most of our guys on this team I'm not really into. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at Scotty Barnes, and I'll take Jakob Poeltl late if I need a serviceable big man.
Okay, so wait a second. I got to get back to, and I hear all that, Doc. I got to get back to this. Will Philly tank or not thing? No, because Andre, help me out with this. Andre says Philly's first round pick to OKC in 2026 is protected for selections 1 through 4 in 2026 and protected for selections 1 through 4 in 2027. And then if Philly has not conveyed a first round pick to OKC by 2027, then Philly will instead convey a second round pick. So my read on that, okay, I'm not an economist and all this. My read on that is that Philly could tank the next 2 years, be bottom 4, keep those picks, get 2 more high draft picks, and a lot has to happen for them to fall that low and all. But theoretically, if they wanted to do it, there still is incentive to tank for Philadelphia. And you think about it, Doc, if they tank both of these years and they're bottom 4 both of these years, then they don't have to give a first round pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They would give a second round pick. Or you finish middle of the pack, and then that first round pick is going to go to Oklahoma City.
Dude,
to me,
it's exactly the same scenario as last year. It's exactly the same.
I think it was top 6 last year, and now they got to get to the bottom 4.
They've got the talent to do it, Rick.
Doesn't make them kind of even tankier? Because you got to get to the bottom 4, not the bottom 6. It means you got to lose even more.
Embiid's talking about not playing. Paul George had surgery.
Andre, thank you for that info. That was clutch information right there. Of course, AI didn't give it to me. Dude, you know what? Andre Lemouche eats AI for breakfast and dinner, dude. Just eats it. Like, AI got nothing on our boy Andre. Nothing. Because I just did a quick AI search on that, right? There is nothing about the protections here. Let me look into the fine print. I don't see anything about
Chat GP Andre.
That's right, man. Best in the biz, baby. Best in the biz. I am targeting on the Toronto Raptors, Scotty Barnes. Love him. Third round pick is an absolute banger for me. It's a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. Yeah. Place goes crazy. Emmanuel Quickly. I'll mess with Emmanuel Quickly. Probably sub 1 round on ADP. Full ADP feels rich for IQ, but a round off ADP if he's kind of drifting. And what I'm looking at for IQ, Doc, is he's the last point guard that I can get like 17 and 7 from, right? And then beyond him, it's maybe the guys who are going to give you 15 and 5, that kind of thing. So I think he's kind of a breakpoint point guard, like the bottom of a tier point guard. And when he's that last dude, and maybe I need a little bit of dime action, bam. I've got RJ Barrett here. He's not really a target. He's just a guy that's he's draftable for me. He's not on the dead to me list. He's not on the, oh my God, I got to have him list. He will not be in my pop players article. I think his PRA is underrated. His points, rebounds, and assists are pretty damn good. They really are. And we got to give him credit for that. And, he's around a steal. He's around 2 threes a game. He's not a bad fantasy player. And then Jakob Poeltl, Doc, really, really underrated player. He's going to give you about 12, 9.5. He's a block plus. He's a steal plus. And he's just a quality player. He is. I do fear a shutdown with him, but I'll mess with Poeltl because you're getting him so late. And then I'll get us started with the avoids. I mean, it's obviously Brandon Ingram. We already made a joke about him earlier in the show. I don't need to bang on him anymore. And I don't want any dick. I don't want any dick this year in fantasy basketball. So he's another guy that I'm avoiding.
Dude, I'm trying to have a serious conversation here about dick. Why you gotta laugh? I too am avoiding Scotty Barnes, and not Scotty Barnes. Look, all the Grady Dick conversation threw me off my. I am not drafting Brandon Ingram under any circumstances, and I'm not messing with your guy Emmanuel Quickley. I used to love Emmanuel Quickley. Like I said, I haven't seen him play in so long. He's sort of in Siberia for me, and I don't trust him. I'm not messing with him. I am intrigued a little bit by Mobo. If he gets minutes, I could see me messing with him in DFS, maybe on FanDuel Daily Fantasy Sports. But yeah, Scotty Barnes is the only thing I want out of Toronto.
He's the only thing you want. So Doc is telling you he doesn't want it. I can't even say it. I'm so happy his name is in the league, though. I needed this laugh. I'm tearing up a little bit. This is laughter. This is tears of joy right here. Oh my God, we suck so bad. We do, but it hurts so good, doesn't it? It does. Toronto's another mystery team, Doc, in terms of tanking. Are they going to tank? Are they going to try to make the play-in tournament? How does that look out on the horizon of the Raptors schooner? How does that look? And we have to make a preseason determination on that, or at least our best guess. Okay, so what does that horizon look like for Toronto? Are Poeltl and Quickley and Barrett and all these guys going to be like half-ass shut down the last month of the season like last year? Or do you think Toronto may be able to turn the corner here and try to make the play-in tournament?
I mean, for Toronto to get in, and they missed it by a long way last year. They were 9 wins behind the Bulls who got in. They need somebody to fall out. And when I look at all of these teams, the only one I could see possibly falling out is Boston. And I don't think Boston, even if they tank, there's too much pride there. Like, they don't want to be down there eliminated from the playoff race all the way. They don't want to be eliminated. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that Toronto is still not going to be playing in the postseason.
I think it's going to look a lot like it did this year, Doc. I mean, you got some firepower, dude. You got Quickley, Barrett, Ingram, Barnes, Poeltl. Doc, that's not that bad. That's really not that bad. You've got talent. You've got 4 guys that can hit 20 any night. And oh yeah, Quickley had 20 last night. Nobody's surprised by that. You got 4 guys that can do that. I don't know, man. I'll say it like this, dude. I'm playing it straight with Toronto because I don't know. Okay, like Philly, that looks tanky as hell. Boston looks tanky as hell. Charlotte, Washington look tanky as hell, right? I got a feel for that. Utah looks tanky as hell. New Orleans looks like eventually they're going to try to win and fail and then tank. That's do the same shit every year. Toronto might just be good enough to challenge the Bulls for a play-in tournament spot and play their guys all the way through the season. So, because that starting 5 on paper, I'll tell you right now, Doc, who has a better starting 5? The Chicago Bulls or the Toronto Raptors? Pat Williams right now is in my starting 5 for the Chicago Bulls. Pat Williams with Buzelis and Vooch and Giddey and Kobe White, or the Toronto group. I'm telling you, the Toronto starting five to me stacks up toe-to-toe with Chicago's starting five. It might even be, it's more balanced. I mean, Patrick Williams, he should not be starting for anybody under any circumstances.
Yeah, can we put him on a boat with Chris Middleton? And
he's too young though, dude.
I don't care. He has the same effect on younger players that Chris Middleton and Claxton, or not Claxton. Anyway, who's the point? Mike Conley. It's time, dude. Get out of the way. I'm still going no playoffs for Toronto. I get your point. The Bulls lineup is about the same as Toronto's, but I like the Bulls better.
So I'm playing it straight with Toronto, guys. Boston, these other teams, I'm not calculating in a shutdown and all that. I'm not with Toronto because I just don't know. It's the East. The East sucks. Okay. I told you Toronto's going to be the 10th seed in the East. Okay. That doesn't sound that outlandish to me. It is draft guide season at sportsethos.com, our favorite time of year. And this year's product is better than ever. Huge updates are waiting for you on the site, and our yearly membership save you up to 65%. Get on this. Head to sportsethos.com, click Get Premium, and unlock the best fantasy basketball experience you can find, from the Brewski 150 to our draft tracker to insider analysis from real pros like me and Doc. We got you covered. Sportsethos.com. The Brooklyn Nets, Doc, I'm going to make this very short and sweet. Nick Claxton is a target for me. I like Nick Claxton. Nick, let's get back to 2 blocks a game. I don't want to be mad at you this year, okay? Comply with the plan, please. Thank you. I have one guy. That's it, Nick Claxton. I don't want anybody else on this team. I am strictly avoiding Michael Porter Jr. He's going to get shut down. And Cam Thomas, we talked about him on the previous episode, got paid 1 year and $6 million. To me, that is a notification. That's a pink slip, okay? Like, your time is almost up here. And I'm on Team Cam Thomas here. I think the Nets suck for how they're treating him, but it is what it is. He's completely off my list. So give me targets and avoids for the super sexy Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it all. You're higher on Claxton than I am. And honestly, if we weren't doing these shows and I didn't hear Claxton, like you heard Ty Jerome every day last year, yeah. I would have no Nets on my list, especially after Cam Thomas became dead to us yesterday. So I would maybe mess with Claxton, especially. I mean, if you need a center late and Claxton's there, get him. But he'll probably go before that. I'm always intrigued by Keon Johnson, Justin Wilson. But my God, this is so bad. Noah Clowney, everybody's talked about him a couple years ago. It's so bad. Claxton would be the only one. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have any Nets on any of my teams.
Nick Claxton or Rudy Gobert?
I'd take Rudy.
Wow. And you are not a Rudy Gobert guy. You are not. Jay Huff or Nick Claxton?
I'd have to think about that one. I'd have to do some research, pull some numbers.
All right.
Probably
All right.
Jay Huff, but I can't guarantee that.
You're on a Jay Huff thing, man, and I'm mad at you. So for me, like the whole, like, is there any doubt at all that Brooklyn gets super, super tanky and shut downy late in the year? Is there any doubt? Do you think there's any chance that a healthy Michael Porter Jr. plays all the way to the end of the season?
No.
Me either.
Like, this is a disaster. The depth chart is laughable. It is absolutely laughable.
It's the worst team in the NBA. I don't think there's any debate about. Washington's got more talent. Charlotte's got more talent. Utah's got more talent. This Nets team, they're the worst team in the NBA. They might win 13 games, dude. And I don't know who the hot shots are in the 2026 draft. They're going to be bellied up at that bar too. It is time for our FanDuel win total, Doc, and it is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their FanDuel win total is 62.5. Last year, Doc, they won 68 games. Which way you going here, brah?
Over. Taking the over. I called them a dynasty last year. You gave me some beef about it. Not beef, but you were like, dude, it's too early to call them.
Well, they hadn't won the championship yet.
I know.
That was on their way to winning it.
I knew they were going to. So, yeah, I think the fact that their number's not a little bit higher than 62 is surprising to me since they won 68 last year. I don't think they're going to get any worse. The West got better, but Oklahoma City is damn good on both ends of the floor. I'm going over.
This one's tricky, dude. This one's tricky. Dude,
I will bet this.
Dude, 68 wins is incredible. 73 is the all-time record. Dude, like 68 wins is like top 10 all time. It's insane. Like they're coming down from that. Like they just have to. You don't just have 68, 67, 68, 60. It just doesn't happen that way. Even for a team this good and this well built with all this depth, it just historically, pattern-wise, just doesn't happen. Like they're going to win 60 plus games. That's a lock. It's a guarantee. So, oh man, it's a stay away from me, Doc, because I think it's really close to the number. As we sit here right now, I'm going to go under on it. I don't think, dude, when you win a championship, the regular season becomes in the way. You're just trying to get through that 6 months healthy. And I think that's going to be a big thought process for Oklahoma City. I think they're gonna pull the throttle back on the boat just a little bit. Knowing, shoot, we've already done this. We cracked the code, and we've got this thing, and we're trying to win multiples here. So it's just a whole long game approach that I think could sap some playing time from some players, lead to a couple extra L's. I think there's no doubt about they win the West. No doubt about it. Dude, they won the West by like 1 million games last year. Let me get this. It was like 15 games or something. Dude, they were plus 16 games.
18 games ahead of the Nuggets.
Bro, they don't want to win that many games this year. I'm telling you right now. Because, dude, remember, they were full bore, on a mission, locked in like a serial killer on a rampage the whole year, right? The whole year. That's how you win 68 games. You never let up. There's no bad nights. You crush every terrible team by 30, right? They handled their business all year long. And this year, I'm telling you, Oklahoma City is going to be like, we're going to be more chill. And if I'm wrong, Doc, I will admit this during the season on the Fantasy NBA Today and also my NBA show. But this is how champions roll the year after they win a championship. And so I gotta go under on OKC. It's not bettable. It's not. Like I'm really kind of like this on this one, Doc. But if you got a gun to my head, I'm going under on 62.5.
Looking at the games played from last year, it's not like they ran their team into the ground, dude. Shea played 76. I could see that number coming down to like 72. Mm-hmm. Give him a couple nights off. Mm-hmm. Jalen Williams, 69. Chet Holmgren, 32. Isaiah Hartenstein.
Remember, Jalen had that little, it was an ankle, right? Or was it the wrist that he had surgery on? He had a little, remember, he missed like a 2-week stretch, 2 or 3 weeks with a little injury.
Hartenstein, 57 games played. Isaiah Joe, 74. Lou Dort, 71. Casey Wallace, 68. Caruso, 54. Like, it's not like all these guys played 75 games. Like, only 2 of them did. Aaron Wiggins and Shea played 76. Everybody else was not anywhere close to that. I don't know. I'm going over. I love OKC.
That's some great stat work right there, Doc, because that stuff matters. You're right, dude. Dude, they won that. Come on, dude. How? You won 68 games with all of those missed man games from all of those players.
No starter
That's insanity.
No starter played 70, except for Lou Dort and Shea.
I changed my answer. I'm going over. You just did it. I changed my answer. I'm going over. Doc,
that's the thing.
I'm blown away. I'm literally blown away, dude. Like, they already kind of did that last year. I mean, maybe not by design, but in terms of games played, and they still won 68 games. Dude, to miss all those games and then win 68 games anyway, that's irrational, dude. That's illogical. It doesn't compute for me.
And here's another thing. Shea played 34 minutes. Jalen played 32. Nobody else was higher than 27 minutes per game.
You got to be kidding me. All right. Full steam ahead, guys, on these Oklahoma City Thunder. Full steam ahead. I mean, and dude, so the stats that you're talking, Chet's going to play more games this year than he played last year. I mean, obviously, weird stuff can happen, but what we know right now, Chet is on pace to play way more games this year than last year. I would say Isaiah Hartenstein's on pace to play quite a few more games. I mean, he was in the 50s last year. That's not their plan. They want him playing more than that. J-Dub
was in the 50s.
Caruso?
He was in the 50s, yeah.
He'll play more than that. And then you mentioned J-Dub. What did he play? 69? What'd you say was the number on
69.
him?
He was close.
I mean, I could see that number being pretty close. But that's some good stat work on OKC, dude. That they already had a bunch of missed man games. They won 68 games. So the over on 62.5. And after this conversation, yes, that would be bettable for me. Any other?
That was FanDuel's over-under for wins on the season. Where are you watching football Thursday night, Rick?
I am going to see.
Where did you watch football last night? That's what I meant to say.
So it's hard for me to answer right now because I have plans tonight, and hopefully the bar that I'm trying to think.
You don't need to answer. If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know. But Cowboys and Eagles, big time game, big time. I will. And so anyway, enjoy football season. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We really appreciate you guys being here with us. For the best producer in the biz, Andre Lemouche. For Hall of Famer Steve Alexander, I am Rick Kamla. This has been the Fantasy NBA Today presented by FanDuel. We'll see you all next week.